Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Competitive Botany. In this video, you are going to learn multiple allelism. First, you have to know the difference between genes and alleles. Then it will be easy to understand the multiple allelism. So, gene can be understood as a unit of inheritance that is located in a fixed place on chromosome. So gene is a unit of inheritance that is present on fixed locus. So one of the alternative forms of a gene that occur at a given locus in a chromosome is referred to as allele. Among these, one being dominant and other is recessive. So we know that each gene has two alternative forms. They are called as alleles. Among them, one is dominant and other is recessive. So it was demonstrated that each allele occupy an identical position or locus on each of the two homologous chromosomes in diploid cells of an organism. So look at the picture carefully. So allele occupy an identical position or locus of each of the two homologous chromosomes. Okay, so they are present on same position. Okay, so this is one allele, again this is other allele. Both are alternative forms, you have to remember. So they are present on an identical position or locus each of the two homologous chromosomes in diploid cells of an organism. You have to remember that these two alleles are belonging to the same gene. So generally alleles are symbolized with some basic symbols. Example, capital T used for the tallness and small t is used for the dwarfness. So if an organism has two same alleles or two identical alleles, such organism is called as homozygous for that gene. Whereas an organism has two different alleles, such organism is called as heterozygous for that gene. So look at the figure. So this is homozygous condition. Why? Because there are two identical alleles, capital T, capital T. This is the heterozygous condition because there are two different types of alleles, capital T and small t are present. Such condition is called as heterozygous condition. So, among these alleles, one being wild and other is mutant. The mutant can also mutate once again to give rise to another mutant form. So, therefore, a gene can have more than two allelomorphs or alleles. So, in some cases, there are more than two alternatives found. Actually, two alternative forms, we know that. But in some cases, there are more than two alternatives have been reported. If more than two alleles are present for a single gene, such alleles are referred to as multiple alleles. So here we are observing that each gene may have more than two alternatives or alleles. So if more than two alleles are present for a single gene, such alleles are called as multiple alleles. So these allelomorphs make a series of multiple alleles. So it is also possible that several alleles exhibit the same phenotype whether wild or mutant. Such alleles are also called as isoalleles. Such alleles are called as isoalleles. Several alleles, they exhibit the same phenotype. Such type of alleles are called as isoalleles. So, T.H. Morgan in the year 1910 described the first case of multiple alleles of a gene controlling eye color in Drosophila during his studies on mutation. In Drosophila, several alleles, that is called multiple allelism, you have to remember, several alleles exhibit red eye color and white eye phenotype, which is mutant allele of normal red eye phenotype. So, if normal red eye color is mutated, then white eyes will come. Okay, you have to remember. It was observed in Drosophila by T.H. Morgan. When more than two different forms of a given gene exist in a species, they are referred to as multiple alleles. This situation is termed as multiple allelism, and the set of alleles itself is called as multiple alleles. Although only two actual alleles of a gene present in diploid cells and only one is present in haploid cells. Let's see the characteristics of multiple alleles. So, multiple alleles have some characteristic features. Let's see that. They should always occupy the same locus on homologous chromosomes. So, they always influence the same character. Okay, so they belong to a same gene and they belong to a same character. So, wild type allele is always dominant, whereas the mutant alleles are maybe recessive or maybe codominant. So, the best examples of multiple allelic system has been observed in coat color of rabbits, wings of Drosophila, and blood groups in human. So, these three are the best examples for multiple allelism. For instance, a gene for coat color in rabbits contain many alleles. Different alleles perform the different coat colors in rabbit. So, ash color coat color present in chinchilla type of rabbits. This is albino type of rabbit. This is wild agouti type. So, this is also mutant Himalayan type. Okay. Let's see the another example such as a gene for lens of Drosophila wings. It has two alternative forms such as an allele for normal wings and second allele for vestigial wings. So you have to remember vestigial is nothing but reduced wing size in Drosophila. Okay, reduced wing size observed in Drosophila, that is nothing but vestigial wing. L plus allele, which is a wild allele, and LVZ, nothing but vestigial allele, which is a mutant. It might have originated in the past. Both the alleles of a gene occupy corresponding positions on homologous chromosomes of an organism. So they corresponds to an identical position or same position. They occupies the same position on two homologous chromosomes. So the mutant can also mutant once again to give rise to another mutant form. Then what will happen? Then the size of Drosophila wings decreases further. So therefore, it is possible to have more than two allelic forms known as multiple alleles of one gene. Let's see the inheritance of A, B, AB and O blood groups in human. So Landsteiner and Levine in the year 1900 and 1902 discovered two kinds of antigens called antigen A and antigen B from the surface of red blood cells of human. A person may contain either one allele or neither of them. they may be absent. Accordingly, he recognized three kinds of blood types or blood groups, such as A blood group contain A antigen, B blood group contain B antigen, and O blood group that contain no antigen. That means antigen is absent. So the another blood group was recognized by two of Landsteiner's students, Von de Castello and Sturley. Okay, so persons with AB blood group contain both the antigens. That means they contain two alleles such as capital A and capital B. So then they'll have the blood group AB. Bernstein proposed the inheritance of A, B, and AB and O blood types. It was determined by three allelomorphic genes. So, if more than two alleles are present, that is called as multiple allelism. So, the gene controlling blood types has been labeled as capital I. The gene capital I exists in three different allelic forms such as IA, IB, and small I. IA, IB alleles produce characteristic antigens on the surface of erythrocytes. So IA antigen, IA if an organism specifies IA antigen, then it will produce A antigen and produces A blood type. So IB specifies B antigen and it will produce B blood group. So if I allele, small I allele specifies no antigen, that means it contain O blood group type. Okay. Similarly, pedigree analysis reveals that capital A and capital B parents having children with both the antigens such as A and B. Both are present on erythrocytes. Because they are showing codominance, that's why the persons with AB alleles having AB blood group. So you can see the cross made between parent of one parent having A blood group, other parent having the B blood group. There is a possibility in their offspring having the AB blood group, because the children containing both alleles, they will exhibit AB blood group. This is the fourth blood group identified by Bernstein. Pedigree analysis has shown that IA and IB alleles, they have dominance, they are dominant over small I allele. So IA, IB are codominant and I0 is recessive. I0 or IO nothing but there is absence of antigen. There is absence of antigen. So next, both the alleles such as capital A and capital B alleles are capable of showing some degree of phenotypic expression. That's why both are codominant. You have to remember.